Hey everyone and welcome. In this video of Rotten Politics, we look at an article in the Express regarding Mr Barnier and the EU and their slow realisation that we got their danglies in a vice and we decide if and when to turn.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics.
The article is titled, EU Rattled, Brussels Left Shocked by Britain's New Hardline Approach to Trade Talks. Now I would like to say, no deal is now a very real possibility, which would make, in my opinion, all of us Leave voters very, very happy. Let's read and bask in what is final realisation by the EU that we hold all the cards and we decide what is or isn't with our glorious land. British negotiators finally believe they have Brussels on the back foot with their uncompromising attitude in the talks about a future trade deal. David Frost's army of officials refused to budge last week, good, after Michel Barnier demanded the current access to Britain's fishing waters is maintained. Not a chance, as the price for the future relationship pact. It's fine by us, you don't get the fish, you don't get the pact. The Brussels bureaucrat even called for the UK's departure from the bloc single market to be delayed after admitting negotiations had been disappointing. For you mean? You're not getting your own way is what that says. Does that not say he's not getting his own way? Yeah, that sounds like verbal spitting of the dummy. You do as I say, no. He's just worried he's lost his grip and he knows he can't do anything about it. He's the ball's in our court now, is it not? Despite the deadlock talks, Mr Johnson will be advised that his negotiators remained resolute in their promise to deliver on his Conservative manifesto pledge to free Britain from EU rules and regulations. Hey! Sources said EU officials were a bit worried by their British counterparts during a recent week-long talks carried out over video conferences. A little worried. What they actually mean is they're terrified that we're not going to bend the knee anymore, and they need us to bend the knee so that we can bail them out. Am I wrong? It is believed the UK's new uncompromising stance and their refusal to simply accept the EU's demand has shocked some of Mr Barnier's deputies. Oh, I bet they're all running off to safe spaces. The tactics even drove Mr Barnier to accuse the British of slowing down the negotiations. We were, and his deputies claim they were even seeking to end the talks without an agreement. That is exactly what I think is going to happen now. It seems to be that Boris, while he was been ill, has been watching what's going on and has just decided that we're not bothered. I don't think he's that bothered about a deal. I think if the EU come up with something special, maybe so. But if they don't, oh well. Cheers me up a bit this. I'm quite enjoying this story, but what say you? But Downing Street revealed the deadlock talks are because the EU will not drop its demand for unchanged fishing rights in Britain's waters. In other words, full access for them and none for us. That's not going to wash. The Prime Minister will be urged to reach out to European Commission President Ursula von der I won't give you nothing Leyen to encourage her to soften the bloc's negotiating position. No, I don't think he will be bothered with that one, actually, Express. I think he's not going to bother with that at all. I think he's just going to leave it to them to push and push and push until they get nothing. British negotiators are also hoping their counterparts to agree to intensify the trade talks. The two sides are not due to hold more week-long virtual talks again until May and June, and they're telling us that we've slowed down. You know what they're doing, don't you? They've withdrawn, panicking. They're going to go and have a little chit-chat and a brainstorm, and they're going to come back and they're going to beg us. Downing Street wants Brussels to break standard convention and short-circuit the usual negotiation process in order to match its ambitious timetable. Ministers could even publish a draft fisheries text within weeks to hammer home the point to the bloc's leaders. You're not getting them, is the point, I would say. You're not getting our fish. If you want to buy them off us, you're more than welcome to buy them off our fishermen once they've fished them. Isn't that right, fishers? Senior EU officials have already conceded they will be forced to revise the mandate given to them by member states in order to soften their red lines. One source said, over time we must decide whether we should move or not. See, this is the problem with the EU. They've got that many members and that much bureaucracy involved with everything that they can't make quick decisions even though they need to. Look at the response to the lurgy from the EU. That is just prime example of why this is no good as anything other than trading friends. It should have stayed that, in my opinion. They've created their own demise. But what say you? Let me know if you think that's true. However, Mr. Barnier is still under orders to maintain the same level of access for European trawlermen to Britain's waters as the price for any trade deal. Have you seen these trawlers as well? I'll find a picture. There you go. Look at the amount of fish that they're pulling out of our waters, and they want to continue with that. That just means that our fishermen don't get the chance to thrive, doesn't it? Well, it's not happening, in my opinion. I think we should fight that all the way. We need our fishermen to be able to go back to work, do we not? Especially considering how fruitful British waters are. This is why they need them so much, because they know they will lose a lot of money without our fish, and they are our fish now, are they not? Access is a deal breaker for at least 9 EU countries, including France, Belgium, Denmark, Germany and the Netherlands. Sorry France, sorry Belgium, sorry Denmark, sorry Germany and sorry Netherlands, you're not getting them. Downing Street has said ministers must reclaim full control of the country's fishing rights, with future terms decided during annual negotiations with Brussels. Can I just say though, if we take back our fisheries, we come out of lockdown, we're going to have a few problems with our economy, are we not? The fish, and being able to fish them ourselves, would massively increase our economy regrowth, in my opinion. But let me know, do you think the same? Mr. Barnier has urged the UK to make its fisheries plan public so we can open negotiations with EU member states over his mandate. The Frenchman said there will be no trade agreement without an agreement on fisheries. Okay, we're fine with that, are we not? For the moment, the UK has understood our message. No, the UK has listened to your message, and we don't care about your message. This is not about you anymore, Barnier. You need to finally get this into your thick skull that this is about us now. If you want to be friends with us, you're more than welcome to. If you don't, goodbye, good riddance, in my opinion. I think they will come back with proposals, and we're willing to discuss those with the member states and those involved in the fishing industry. Like I said, in my opinion on this one, guys, I think they are terrified. They know now that we've got them where we want them, and they can't do anything about it other than flap the little face holes and scream like little 2-year-old temper tantrums while we walk off into the sunset, because I actually do believe that they're not going to come up with a deal that's amicable for us. Not for both of us anyway. It will be all for them, which means that we'll be walking away with no deal, which is perfect. It's exactly what I voted for, and yes, I was fully clued up when I did that vote, as were probably most of you guys. But let me know what you think on this one. Do you think the EU hierarchy are crumbling? Because I do. I think they've realising now that we've got them and they can't do anything about it. All of their power left with us. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to share it out to your social medias. Helps me evade the YouTube algorithm, helps the channel grow. It would be amazing if you could. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.